we're about to give you our honest review of this, the Las Vegas Sphere, Darren Aronofsky's Postcard from Earth, and we're gonna tell you whether this Las Vegas buffet of fun is just sizzle or if there's some steak. So stick around, we're gonna tell you all about it, and we're gonna kick it off right about now. So first and foremost, we went to this in January of 2024, not long after it opened. We saw Postcard from Earth. We were in Las Vegas for what?
CES.
The Consumer Electronics Show.
Yeah.
And so this was our first time seeing the Sphere, which opened, I believe, just in October the year before. So it was relatively new to the world. And we decided to go from CES. We grabbed our editor, Watson, Amy, and myself. We grabbed a Uber.
Yeah, I don't think we had much of a plan other than we wanted to get close to the Sphere. We were like, we want to see it. We want to see it in real life. Like we want to see what this looks like. We had only seen it briefly when we were like kind of on the highway.
Driving
and you
by.
could see it, and it looked really awesome. So we wanted to get closer, see the Sphere, see what it was all about.
Okay, so pretty cool. The first mistake we made, we just took an Uber and we put in Sphere, and he dropped us off kind of in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
It was cold as the dickens. We weren't dressed for the event.
We're Florida people, and we're not prepared.
It was probably freezing in January in Las Vegas. And then we were just walking around a not populated dark area with a lot of traffic, and eventually made our way to the correct spot of the building. So first and foremost, if you're gonna Uber there, you're gonna taxi there, anything, make sure you get dropped off at an entrance.
Right.
That'd be first and foremost.
Hopefully
That was on
now
us.
Taxis and Ubers kind of know where the entrances are. It was new at the time.
Yeah.
Maybe they didn't know either.
Yeah. So we get there, and we didn't actually have intention of going to the show. We just wanted to see the outside. And it is beautiful from this distance. If you're a quarter mile away, a half mile away, even a few hundred yards, it's absolutely beautiful. But we did have one criticism. As we walked up to the Sphere, what did we see?
I would say it's not what you expect. First of all, you get closer to it, and I don't know what I expected exactly, but geometrically, it's not this smooth bubble. It looks like a bubble from far away. You get up closer, and you can see that the
Little flat panels.
Little flat panels, and you can see that it's not just a clear, beautiful LED screen. Like, I don't know, I guess that's
It's not a
what I thought
TV.
was
Yeah,
gonna
I thought
be.
it was
It's
like a
not
TV screen.
You can see the individual pixels.
Yeah, it's actually little, seemingly like little projector bulbs
Yeah.
all around.
So
you
you
guys
can
probably
see
know
kind
the
of like-
technology better than we do.
Yeah, you can see like gaps and spaces in between. So if you're expecting for it to be really, really stunning, the closer you get, maybe that's not the case.
Yeah, it's almost less stunning up close than it is. Like if you're standing right at it, you're like, oh, I just see a bunch of little projector bulbs.
It's not as cool.
If you're further away, you get to see the full effect, like here, which it looks like a Christmas illumination, and that's pretty cool too. They're doing one of those snow globes. So, still impressive, a must-see. It was cold, and we didn't know what to do from there, so I got on an app, and I picked up kind of some last-minute tickets. Some almost like scalped tickets, like you can rebuy tickets online. The show was starting, I think, at 7 o'clock, and it was like 6:45. We picked up whatever was available, way overpaid, so certainly pay in advance if you're going to the
Yes,
Sphere. Get
yeah.
some good seats well in advance.
And
But-
speaking of seats, just
Yeah.
to say, good seats. A good seat for you is likely going to be maybe if you don't want to walk as much or you don't want to do stairs because it is quite steep.
Yeah, a lot of people do complain about the steps.
A good seat for you, if you don't like steps, might be those aisles and places that are closest to exits where you don't have to use many stairs. But otherwise, there's not a bad seat in the house.
The front
Everything-
2/3, wonderful.
Absolutely incredible. And also, if you are interested in it, the haptic seats are 10,000 of the 17.5 or 17,500 seats. So almost, a little over half of them if you want the extra movement and motion. And I highly suggest that because it's more immersive. So
Explain what those seats are.
So those seats are going to rumble and kind of like move and give you vibration, a little bit of movement. It's not something like a roller coaster or anything, but
A little bit better sound. I feel like you
yeah.
get in those particular seats sound better.
Yeah.
So we went in, and the first thing you're gonna see when you go inside are a bunch of demonstrations, technology demonstrations that you can participate and interact with the crowd as they go into the main lobby, because there's gonna be several shows a day, so you're gonna wait outside, they're gonna clear it out, they're gonna clean the place, everybody moves out, and then you're ushered in. You're gonna go through the lobby,
Yes.
and the lobby is a technology center.
It's beautiful. It looks like an atrium for a modern art museum almost. It's very white, it's very pretty, it's looks like something from the future.
Yeah.
There are the normal things that you would see at a concert hall, because this is a concert hall. You're gonna have drinks and snacks and things like that, and you can pick those up and you can use the restroom, but there's also some really, really fun exhibits and really great ways to spend your time while you're waiting to go into the main event.
Yeah, absolutely. Sorry, I had an eyeball pop up behind me. I had to do a double take. So yeah, there's one where you talk to a robot, and you use almost like a chat GPT where the crowd can interact with the robot, and the robot is standing up on a stage and you can talk and interact with it. That's kind of fun. There's another where a kind of hologram, a pseudo hologram, is being projected in the air. It's actually using some technology where it uses a very fast moving, almost like rope fan that's spinning around, and the image is being projected on that. But from a distance, the fan is moving so fast you don't see the blades, you just see the light being projected onto the blade. So that gives you a hologram type of experience above you. There is, at least when we went, a Directional Sound presentation, which was new at CES. If you're not familiar with Directional Sound, it launches the sound waves directly at you. So you can be hearing something, Amy could be hearing something, and it'd be completely different things, and we don't interact with each other because those sound waves are directly being pointed at us. What's really cool about that is you could have Spanish for one section of the theater and English for another. So yeah, they have some demonstrations where they're like, you people stand in this box, you guys stand in this box, we're gonna play you different things, and you're gonna hear different things despite the fact that you're standing inches away from each other.
Or potentially hear the same thing in different languages.
Yeah.
So everyone gets to experience the same concert or the same TED Talk or the same demonstration in your native tongue at the same time, which is really, really cool technology.
So again, these are little almost Epcot type experiences outside of your seating area within the Sphere. There's also one where you stand in line, you go up and they take like a picture of you, like a 360 picture of you, and they'll email you an avatar that's a full 360, like in a space environment or whatever. I think it's a little bit of a trick to just get your email address, and then they...
Also, it's the most creative way to get your email address of all time.
Yeah, so they get your email address, they send you the picture, you can look at it in 3D, and then it's like, do you want to send this to your friends? Tell them that you're at the Sphere, and they should come too, type of thing. And it's literally, since the movie's called A Postcard from Earth, this sends your digital postcard to your friends from the Sphere. So it's meta. So then, when it's time, everybody makes their way into the theater, and it's just it looks like a big, enormous planetarium.
Right.
And from a scale perspective, you see the entire size here. The inner shell is actually only part of that. You know, it isn't nearly as big. You would think that the inner shell is that big, but it's, 2/3. Mm-hmm. So the inner sphere will have this enormous LCD screen. I forget how many K it is and how many pixels it is. I remember 160,000 something. It's ridiculous. It is beautiful. But they start you off, and the movie is called A Postcard from Earth by Aronofsky, thank you. I keep messing up his name. But it's a really cool story. Essentially, you wake up. Like, it shows, like, if it's you wake up, and you're an astronaut. And this AI comes in to tell you that you've been traveling the universe for millions of years or a million years, and you're waking up, you're fuzzy, you don't remember anything. So it tells you the tale of the Earth, from its creation, volcanoes, dinosaurs, and suddenly it starts showing you this, and you're immersed in this world that starts off small, and then the entire screen takes off, and it kind of blows the audience's mind.
So it's kind of like if you're sitting there, you're almost at like an IMAX theater where you're really impressed and you're like, this is a huge screen, this is really cool.
And it starts off actually small and opens up more.
Yeah, this is a really cool IMAX comparatively. and then it goes from IMAX size to the entire screen. I was thinking for a few seconds at first, like, is this the whole sphere?
Is it?
Like,
Just
is
up
this
here?
it? Is this like, I mean, because it's pretty cool, but it's not that cool.
Yeah, but they
And
hit you with
then-
wind and vibration and sound, and the whole screen takes off, and you're literally,
The
it shows.
lights, the color,
yeah.
everything. It was incredible.
Yeah, it shows as if you're in a spaceship, and I'm not gonna spoil it for you. The experience is what you see. Me hyping it up, it's not about the story.
Right.
So it starts off and you're like in a spaceship, and it shows you flying through the earth and crashing into the ground, and it gives this cautionary tale of the earth. How man came and did all these cool things. Oh, and we had the Industrial Revolution, and pretty soon we start polluting and polluting and polluting. World became uninhabitable, so it whisks you off into space, and you're there to kind of populate and find a new location in the universe to start humanity, plant those seeds in another realm, if you will. And it winds up being a very beautiful, touching tale. You cried a couple times. I saw a lot of people very touched. Now, we were very lucky. We picked up our seats at the last minute. There was a lot of tourists from all around the world, particularly China and Asia, and because of the Computer Expo, the electronics show. This entire company, this Korean company, took a section and bought out a section of
The front row.
Yeah, the whole section. Well, some other people didn't make it, so they were the ones who resold the tickets. So we got second row. No one was sitting in the first row. We got second row. We paid scalper prices, but we were able to get really good seats at the last minute. Not to say that you have to be in the second row to get good seats, because you can probably see a lot of things from anywhere. But it was so cool, and I think we got lucky. We were surrounded by Korean businessmen and women. But we were very lucky to see a great show. Now, I would be excited to see U2's gonna be there. There's a bunch of other shows there. What else?
U2, Fish, Dead and Company is coming. I believe that Zach Brown Band is coming in summer 2025. They're gonna be the first country act to play. So definitely a lot of fun stuff. And because the Sphere is an immersive experience, it definitely makes sense that you've got shows like Fish and Dead and Company and things where maybe you want to use all your senses and really get into your jam bands, get into your music. I definitely see that being a perfect pairing. So those are really exciting shows that I would highly recommend.
I saw a call by NBA fans saying that every NBA draft needs to be there
Oh my goodness.
because
wow,
of the screen experience. You put all the logos, or even like the lottery where like which team's gonna get the first pick type of thing, or a whole bunch of screens going all at the same time. It would be a great experience. And I believe Dana White saying that he wants UFC there because UFC is kind of their home is Las Vegas.
Right.
And they want to be part of that really cool environment. I can imagine wrestling and crowds and all sorts of things. You put that up on stage, and there's a lot of potential to do shows that we've never thought of in the Sphere.
I think when I explain it very disjointedly, saying that, like, oh, you see what's on the screen and you feel your chair moving and, you can feel the wind rushing in your face and, we get this immersive sound, it doesn't sound that cool. But when you're experiencing all those things at the same time, it does something really, really magical, and it just kind of transports you into something otherworldly, which is pretty apropos that we got to see Postcard from Earth. Darren Aronofsky is
Easy for you to say.
Is a really fantastic filmmaker. If you guys aren't familiar, he's done The Wrestler. You know that one.
I do like wrestling.
Mother, Requiem for a Dream, Black Swan, and so things that are a little bit surrealist in general. So having him do something that is a little bit surreal was just a perfect fit. And again, these kind of jam bands playing the Sphere, again, I think are a perfect fit. So the people that Madison Square Garden that own the Sphere, they know their audience, they know what this is capable of, and they know that it really is made to be that 360-degree, five senses, you're all in it, super present, mindful moment.
You compared it to wearing Oculus.
Yeah.
But more comfortable
Yes.
and a better story. Because a lot of times the stuff you get on Oculus is B- at best, where this was a movie that if it was at a theater, even without those effects, it was a good movie.
Right.
But with those effects, it blows your mind. Now, I think the technology is there to do this. Now we have to have more movies and more acts and more things prepared to do that. Because to be able to project kind of almost 360 and have that level of quality, there aren't a lot of movies that can do that. So I think right now there's a lot of producers, and a lot of acts, and a lot of bands that want to get there and do that. But they have to come up with, how are we going to present in this cool environment? It's easy to say the NBA draft should be there. How do you get basketball all around you, you know? Like, how do you do that? How do you film that? So there's a lot of potential in this, but right now I think it's just in the beginning stages of having the media that can be shown in there. We don't have that yet. So there's a lot of potential, and this thing has not reached its interior potential. Now, I've heard they're putting one in London, they're putting one in New York, I think they're putting one in Orlando. This is a $1 billion building, it's gonna take a while. So they're gonna be all over the world. I think even Tokyo's been talking about one. As they make more of these, there's going to be more rotating content. Maybe U2 goes and plays there, and then, you know, another band. I don't know a lot of popular bands, you know, if Post Malone gives a Postcard from Earth, or we do some kind of combination. Steven Tyler comes back.
Lady Gaga wants to come with Celine Dion. She's in Vegas a lot. She's talked about she would love to play at the Sphere. I think a Gaga concert would be insane at the Sphere.
I'm almost at a loss for what artists should go there. So go ahead and leave us a comment with which artists you would love to see play at the Sphere, because
the Eagles are gonna play a short, like they're gonna be there from September to December this year. Yeah.
September to December, we'll miss it because we're going back in January again for the Consumer Electric Show. Make sure we'll do some videos all about that. So make sure to click that subscribe button. We have a lot more Vegas content, a lot of real world travel. In February, we're gonna go back to Asia for 3 weeks. So we're gonna cover a lot of Vietnam, Thailand, Japan, maybe Singapore, who knows. And we've got a lot of Orlando, Florida. We've got Cancun coming up in a week. So make sure you click that subscribe button. Did you have anything else that you want to tell about this? Give your overall rating on this. What do you think of it?
Absolutely, I think it was 10 out of 10. I kind of expected a really cool planetarium, and it was so much more than that. It definitely, like I said, it gave me the same feeling that I had the first time I put on Oculus goggles, where I felt like I needed to reach out and touch what was next to me, because it was such a 3D experience, and this was certainly that, and then some.
Do you have any areas for improvement?
No, I don't think so.
I think the lobbies, they can improve upon it.
Yeah,
the avatar was okay, but I think they can continue to work on that, and they need to make more content for it, would be my overall 10 out of 10. I don't think I would pay top dollar to see the Postcard from Earth again, but if I got a reasonable price, bought in advance, $50 ticket or something, I'd go to see it. I think we paid over $300. I would like to see some other performances. I'm not a big band guy, but I would like to see some other performances there. So I'm not a U2 person. Sorry, folks. But yeah, I would like to go again. I'd like to see what else they can put here in the Sphere.
If Lady Gaga's there in January, because she's been hyping it up. She's been saying she wants to play the Sphere. Like, if she's there in January, we're done.
Lady Gaga. All right, folks, go ahead and click that subscribe button. We hope you enjoyed the video. Leave your comments and your thoughts. Have you been there? What did you think of it? I'm Adam. This is Amy again. World's Greatest Adventures. Thanks for watching, and adios, amigos.